Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing another Marvel Rivals replay review, this time for a Bronze 3 player. We're having a little look here for Skazoo Muncher, and he's playing Mantis on the newer Fantastic Four map. We're going to have a little look at some of the stuff he does, point out what he does wrong, what he could do better, and nice pressure on the Thor, but we could just stand in our spawn and fire into them there nice and safe. We keep blocking lines of sight with the pillar. Trying to put out quite a lot of damage here on the Mantis. One thing we haven't really paid attention to is Iron Man up here, just spamming, so we can hear him firing away, shooting off all his bullets, but we haven't really done anything to try and stop him, and he just is freely pumping damage into our team. As we can see, the blasts are just coming in. This way you as Mantis can put some pressure on him, try and make him leave. And he ends up getting a kill on somebody here, I believe. Yeah, trying to get some heals on your people at the front. We're a little bit too far forward as the healer here. We want to try and be behind our other teammates, see how we lost out Mr. Fantastic, and then because we're running towards his corpse, we just get picked off by their DPS. So we just find ourselves in a bit of a bad position. We want to be behind the point. Difficulties, you don't really have a tank in your team, so it's causing you a little bit of grief. So here, one thing you can do is stop walking forward. You don't have to be in everybody's face. We can just stand still, take advantage of the position that we're in, that we're blocking the line of sight from everybody else using this natural cover. But we're just walking into range, and then object permanence here. So we just saw a Thor going on one of our teammates, and we've just decided to ignore him and let him continue to beat everybody up. So if you just look to your right here, there's still a fight going on, Mr. Fantastic versus Thor. Your Mr. Fantastic has the advantage with health, and if he had the benefit of you helping him out, as well as this Sue, there's no way that this Thor wins any sort of fight. Fortunately, everyone else in your team, so 1, 2, 3, 4, has all paid attention to that Thor dying, leaving you on your own, fighting the rest of their team. Kind of playing as a bit of a tank Mantis. You can see your team's playing quite aggressive, trying to get in there to give him some heals. So again, you've just spotted your teammate through the wall. This is the teammate you tried to run up on earlier. We can see that he's low health. He still needs health. Yes, he's going towards a health pack, but you don't know that. Again, you just kind of turn. Object permanence. He's gone behind a wall, so you forgot about him. And then we've got the Magneto. Again, we're running towards the mag. We get the kill there, which is nice, but if your Iron Fist wasn't there, you would have been 1v1ing the enemy tank. Lovely heal on your low health ally there. We got a Hela. Nice getting. See, we want to be behind all of our team here. And again, we're pushing up to the front. Pop a bit of an ulti. So if we just rewind to when you're about to pop your ultimate. So we pop our ulti here, and I feel like it's a bit of a panic ult because we've had a couple of shots go on us. We're a little bit scared, so we're going to pop our ultimate so we don't die. If we have a little look around, you can see your Sue behind you is on extremely low health, and we can't see that because we're too far forward as the Mantis. As the healer, you kind of want to have the rest of your team in front of you so you can pay attention to all of their health, see what's happening, see who's dying, who's alive, and where the advantage is for you to be able to put some pressure down. So right now, your Sue is in real need of healing. Unless that was just a bug with the Sue's health. Right, so she takes a lot of damage. You popping your ult seems to make it over to the Sue to heal her up. As she goes to full health, but I don't think you've got any clue that you've managed to heal her there. So moving back into it, you push forward with your ulti, which is always a good thing to do. But we should be looking around. What health are our teammates on? And again here, we're just caught in a bad position because we're at the front. And we're just ignoring this Thor, laying into us, pumping out some damage, to the point where everyone on their team is shooting as the Mantis at the front. So you just want to make sure that you know where your team are, you're using your team as a bit of a meat shield, because you can heal them, but they can't heal you. So again here, if we just watch that again and we pause. So, our Star-Lord has just ulted. He's currently half health, and his ultimate gives him Agent 76's auto-aim. So where he just locks onto targets and is able to shoot them. So right now he should be our priority for healing. Instead, what we do is we jump out and we give a damage boost to Mr. Fantastic, who is full health. He isn't really doing anything. Broski should be our target here. We should be healing him and giving him a damage boost, because his is what's going to help us win this fight. So we jump in. A couple of bouncing. Again, we finally make it over to give him some health. And this is, we're walking forward with our tank and our DPS. All of these onks are bouncing off us. We're taking a lot of damage. Our Sue isn't nearby. And we should be here. We shouldn't be up with them. We run away from the Moon Knight ulti, which forces us to move forward. And because we're such low health, in a position really far up, we end up dying. Mantis pops her ult, heals her team, and your DPS dies alongside with you. So if we just go back and have another little look. This is where we stand still. We allow our fake tank, Mr. Fantastic, to go forward, and our DPS Star-Lord to go forward, and we just stay back, throwing out our ranged attacks. But we get caught in Moon Knight's ulti, and then we drop to his right clicks. So just a really unfortunate kind of positioning situation there. So we pop a damage boost out. If you have a little look on the right of your screen as well, you can see how long damage boost things last. So we're now completely out of healing. We've put out damage boost. Mr. Fantastic lost his damage boost before he could even get into the fight. So it's a little bit of a waste. And we're just caught with our pants down a little bit without any sort of healing. We throw out that sleep as well to try and catch the Wolverine. But we should be keeping that defensively for now, as their whole team's still alive. We're not going to be able to catch him in time. Again, look at our positioning. We're the furthest forward on the team. Everyone else is currently being beaten up by a Thor, which we're not paying attention to. We've got the Punisher on the right pushing up. So as a healer, this is not where we want to be on our own. Maybe if we were a tank, this is something we could do to put some pressure to try and get the payload moving. But you're going to end up in a 4v1 or a 4v2 here, which is just not really what you want. Mr. Fantastic needs some health, but again, we're just in the wrong position to heal him. The Mantis uses their numbers to drop down a sleep on him, and they just take him out. And again, here we are, in a bit of aggression. Wolverine jumps over us, Moon Knight's in front of us. And we just, again, it's a little bit of object permanence. Let's have a little look. So the Wolverine's in front of us, he jumps over us, and then we forget he existed, because he hasn't forgot about us. And he runs after us, and again, we're just caught between their two DPS. The rest of your team is still outside dealing with the Thor. And the rest of Thor's team has now come to back him up. And look at where you are compared to the rest of your team, who are currently dying, not getting any heals because you're trying to duel and fight and play as the tank. So that's what we're doing wrong there. Positioning is one of the most important things that will help you climb in these lower ranks. Mechanical skill is important, but everyone is got different levels of mechanical skill. There's different things that you can do with that mechanical skill. But it's about your positioning. It's being in the right place at the right time, taking advantage of your numbers. This isn't Call of Duty. You know, you can't run forward and kill 6 people on your own. Again, we're playing as the tank. We're walking up. We're letting their DPS fight us and kill us, and we just end up dying because we've got no support. If we just think about this again, so what we can do is we stay here. We use this wall on the left to give us some natural cover, and you can duel with this Hela. Instead, you walk forward, exposing your whole body, allowing more of her team to get close. This Wolverine would have no chance of coming towards you if we were back just here. You could even get your sleep on him if he tries to walk forward and put some aggression on you. But again, we're playing as the tank. We can see that our Sue, the rest of our team are still dealing with this Thor. So you've got to think about numbers advantage in this game. Imagine if all of your team was out here fighting this Thor, or at least you were putting heals into your Punisher. That's what the Sue's coming to try and do, but she's just a little bit too far away to be able to be as impactful as she wants to be. And your Mr. Fantastic are fighting too here. So yes, the payload is important. Yes, we want to get to the payload. But how are we going to get there if we've got this many opponents between us? And how are your team going to get to you to help you win this 2v1 fight, turn it into a 2v2 or a 3v2, if they've got enemies between you and them? So again, we're not the tank here with the healer. We should be the furthest back out of everybody. Just fast forward. So we're going out again. We'll put in an Inspire out on Penny. And again, our Penny just got captured. We just seem to have forgotten about the Penny immediately. We're the healer. This isn't who our target should be. Keeping our tank alive, as someone on your team has finally swapped over to a tank, so they should be your priority. Keeping them up, keeping them alive. And the Penny drops on her own. Our Sleep manages to catch the Cloak and Dagger for the Punisher to kill her, which is great. But now we don't have it for the Thor in our face. And again, object permanence. The Wolverine has run away. You're chasing ghosts here. We can see there's a Thor on our left. He's attacking the two healers on your team, Mantis and Sue. Wolverine is not who we should be focusing. This big fella. So Wolverine, he's running away. He's leaving. Thor isn't. He's full health. He knows he's been bullying your team this whole game. So he's going to continue bullying your team. Wolverine's running. He's low health. He's scared. You're getting shot in the back. You're still getting shot in the back. And now we're going to get beaten up here in the corner by Thor. And I feel if we just turned around a couple of seconds earlier, put a few hits into that Thor, because if you look, your whole team is focusing him. Your whole team are trying to fight him to support you, to keep you alive. They're putting the focus in. If there was just that one little bit more of support from yourself, you would have been able to stay alive in order to support your team. We also have a moment here where we're 95 health. Our left shift has come off cooldown. We just quickly throw that onto the floor. Thor would be dead and we'd still be alive. Your F as well, which gives you a damage boost, also starts your passive healing. Gives you some more healing. And again, would be what you need to possibly kill the Thor, stay alive, gain a numbers advantage and push in. That Mr. Fantastic is doing what we need to. If we just watch that again, Mr. Fantastic hears the Wolverine come in, go on his Penny, and instead of just pushing forward to the payload, he turns around, comes to fight the Wolverine, and your team has a numbers advantage where hopefully they're able to take him out. He gets away with his passive. But that's his 80-second passive. Nope, Mr. Fantastic says no, keeps up the aggression, and pushes him. You can hear that we've just ultied there, so let's back up. So our ult's ready. We can see some of our team are low health. So again, we jump out and we put an Inspire on Punisher. We can see that our Sue is low health. We haven't put a single heal onto her. If the Sue dies, you're a solo healer Mantis. It's going to be difficult for you to keep everybody alive. So we just need to be dropping a heal on her here. And again, you take a couple of shots from the Hela. So you pop your you pop your ulti in a bit of a panic. Yes, it keeps you alive, but it isn't gaining you anything. It isn't winning a team fight. Nice attack there on the Yonk to take it down. As the healer, it's one of your jobs to try and shoot those things as quick as you can, as they will be directed towards you. And again here, the Thor just bullying us. Let's have a little look. Let's rewind that again and just see our positioning. So we're just too far forward here. We're right up the backside of our Penny, when actually we could be over here in this little doorway. We could be over here in this little corner. Because if we're over here in this little corner, look at the vision it would give us of the fight. We can see what's going on. We can see where this Thor's going to come from. So we'd see that he'd fly up in the air, and hopefully if we're over here looking, we'd be able to see him drop him. So I think we throw out our shift, a bit of a panic here. We throw it out, we completely miss the Thor, and that's why he's able to take advantage and just beat us up, because we panicked with our ability. We tried to throw it out as a reaction to him fighting us. Fortunately, we get the kill, which is really nice, and that's all because your Sue turns around to support you. If you turned around earlier to support your team in fighting this Thor, this is what happens. You get heals, your team gets heals, the Thor dies, and now you have a numbers advantage. Mantis puts a little sleep on you, doesn't manage to get the kill because your Sue is paying attention, keeping you alive. So we're getting a nice advantage here, we're pushing forward. Nice little heal onto the Iron Fist. Okay. So the Thor just going in against your whole team, getting focused down. So what are we trying to sleep there? We just throw out a bit of a sleep. We've got 4 heals available. Look at our Penny's health. We want to be pumping some heals into her. Cloak and Dagger's ulting, so you can't use your sleep on a Cloak and Dagger when she's ulting. She's pretty much, she's not invulnerable, but she's CC immune. She's crowd control immune, stun immune. So using that sleep, although it was quite well timed for the positioning that they're in, isn't going to get us any sort of advantage. Again, we can see our Iron Fist is ulting here, so we want to do everything we can to try and keep him alive, which is what you do. We have a heal available and 2 people on low health, so we want to be dropping a heal out. Yep, lovely. Running up to try and... Yes, very nice, very nice. So really good support of your Iron Fist there, which causes your team to get the advantage because he stayed alive during his ult, which is really, really good to see. Don't be wasting these... So you're inspiring everybody, you're giving everybody damage to respawn. Look, Punisher's is timed out. And Iron Fist is timed out. So we gain no advantage there, we're just wasting our healing resources. And the Sue was stood next to us on low health. Let's just give her a little top up. Let's heal her up. What happens if the Hela gets a lucky headshot again and your Sue's dead? You're down a healer. Instead we're focusing on that DPS, which is not our job. Iron Fist is going in a little bit aggressive. We shouldn't be supporting him there. Nice shot of the Yonk. And this is where we've got our ulti. We need to be thinking about, are our team low? Are we going to pop it? Wolverine's just jumped in. So we haven't panicked and used our ulti there. Sue's used hers to support us. What aggression can we get? We're not using the F for the little damage self boost. We're standing out a little bit in the open for this Moon Knight to just shoot into us. Okay, fantastic, making some space for you. Wolverine jumping in on your Punisher. Nice use of the ulti there on the Punisher, keeping him alive. Just missing a few shots there. Again, we're just a bit far up. There's no overtime on the point yet, so we as the healer don't need to be touching this point. If we think about where we could be, look at who's between your team and everyone else. A lovely bit of smoke in the way that we can't see. So who are we healing? We're keeping the Penny up. And again, we're just caught out by their Mantis, who puts a little sleep on us and gives the enemy team the option to take you out, leading to our death. So there's 5 seconds left of the clock. And we as a healer, one of the most important people in the team, have unfortunately died. And this is likely going to lead us to not getting this point here, the rest of your team dying. And I imagine being the reason that we don't win the game. Really, really close to the finish line. We're just a little bit too giddy, a little bit too far forward, and just putting ourselves in a bit of a bad position. Let's have a look at round 2, where we're on the defense. So we swapped over to Luna. We got Mr. Fantastic putting some aggression on us. Nice use of the freeze. In fact, let's just rewind it a little bit there. I feel like we jumped in a bit too early. So what's nice about Luna in this game is that you've got an Iron Fist. So we have an extra little ability here which can slow in an AoE and I believe heal you. So it'd be interesting to see just how much we use this ability and if we're even aware that we've got it. We've popped our shift and fired it into nowhere. This ability is really good at using when your team are grouped or when somebody's low health to pump some big heals into them. I feel like we've used it here as a kind of DPS tool. A really nice freeze. And your team manages to take out the cap, which is great, but your Iron Fist nearly dies. And your Namor is nearly dead as well. So again, our positioning. We're over here, fighting an Iron Fist on our own with our other healer, when realistically, where we should be is here. If we just rewind it a little bit, imagine if we were a Luna, and this is where we were sat at the start. Look at all our teammates. So we can see, move over a little bit. See our Penny, we can see our Namor, see our Iron Fist. We're all currently hiding in a room, granted. But we'd be able to put some heals onto them, be able to fire over, heal them. But instead we lose our Iron Fist. And we're down a DPS right outside of their spawn. We don't currently have our guard on anybody either. And because we're just too far forward, we die to the splash of Squirrel Girl just firing into a crowd. So again, we should be further back here as the healer. We want to be behind our tank. Look where this Sue is. Look at her positioning. She's keeping back. She's not pushing too far forward. She's keep using this wall as a bit of line of sight and keeping herself alive. Positioning is a really, really important thing. Making sure that you're not somewhere in danger and you're in a position where you can support and help your team. Nice freeze on Captain America. And I'm glad to see that you left him. Unfortunately, the Penny's running away to get some heals. Yes, so we were talking about your guard earlier, sorry. So if you put your guard on somebody, whenever you're healing somebody else, they will receive 30% of those heals. And if you're healing somebody with the guard on, they'll receive 30% more healing. Let's just have a little look at that again. So you're panicking, trying to get to the Namor to heal him, but unfortunately he's just in a bit of a bad position. This Captain America, he was the one who made Namor low, and now what's he going to do? He's just going to come and beat you up. So let's have a look at Captain America's point of view. He does actually just run past you and you get taken out, but you just put yourself in a bad position. Unfortunately, that Namor is going to die there because we've abandoned him. We've chased after the Penny on low health. We can heal from range. We don't need to be in melee range with her. We don't need to be running towards her here. When we're coming back as well, when we're turning around, walking back in, we could pop a little reload to get ourselves back up to full ammo. Instead, we go down to 0 ammo. We're reloading. We're trying to save the Namor who flew up into the sky, and we just get picked because we walk into a bad position where their whole team can see us and we've got nobody in front of us to take those hits. The rest of your team's just going to slowly die here, as the enemy just has a much better position. They're putting the aggression down on the cart. So we'll just go forward a bit more. They've taken it. So again, we're walking. Let's get some heals. So again, look at this. We're just out in the open. We're standing here as a healer. We're letting everybody shoot us. As a Mantis, it's not always about doing DPS. You could be stood here on this wall. You could be over here healing your team, putting out some heals. But now we're just going to die to a Namor roll because we're just in the middle of the open with everybody. We get dropped down. At this point, we're trickling in. Our team isn't grouping. We're all dying one at a time. And the enemy is just continuing to move the point.
Good work, Susan. You're halfway there. Keep going.
So we put an Inspire on the Squirrel Girl there. Not too bad, but she has pulled back, so we're not gaining a lot from it. Another Inspire on Mr. Fantastic.
These creatures obey Namor's every
Nice, taking out the Namor. Squid is really good. So Squirrel Girl's ulted. We know she's up there. We've seen her up there, I believe. Yep, so we watched her walk up there. We watched her fire down. So we have a rough idea that she's there. And we've just kind of forgotten about her. Again, we see her just there at a quick clip. And we just put ourselves in a bad spot. Again, we could be over here, putting out those heals. A little bit further away. But look at the advantage that they've got above you. They've got that high ground. Really nice sleep there, actually. We just rewind. So you've got the aggression coming towards you. You sleep him, but then you immediately wake him up. And our teammate Sue has ulted. So what we can do is we sleep the Captain America. We don't wake him up. And we get into that Sue ulti. That's going to give us the healing that we need to survive this Captain America fighting us. Instead, we're trying to duel a tank as a healer. Yes, he ends up dying, but we die first, which isn't great. We're really close to our ulti, so your team is missing out on a healer ult here to support them and hopefully give your team the advantage. But fortunately, the team are getting the kills, people are dropping, but we're not there to be a part of it. How are we doing? Yeah, so we've died 11 times so far. If we look at that in comparison to the other two healers, they've died 9 times and 6, and your own healer's died 6. So the fact that we've died so much just means we're not there to be able to support. Again, we're walking quite far forward. I think you're just trying to be with your team here, but this isn't where we should be. And we pop our ulti to try and save the Star-Lord. He is just too far away. If we were going to commit to supporting that Star-Lord, we need to be out there supporting him. But we kind of half and half it. We end up using our ulti for nobody. We're not looking around to see the rest of our team. Do they need health? Do they need healing? We're not too sure. We just seem very unaware of everyone else on our team. We're just thinking about ourselves a little bit too much and not looking. Here comes Captain America. We know he's coming, so let's get our sleep ready. Let's get off the payload and get in a strong position behind some teammates so he doesn't destroy us. And again, object permanence, for some reason we just decide, hey, he's not there anymore, he doesn't really matter. He jumps in on us, and we're just now in a bit of a bad spot. Put any aggression onto him. Lovely heal on the Iron Fist and the Sue. Cloak and Dagger's ulting, so let's get out of there. Instead, we run forward into their whole team, and we just end up dying. Let's watch that bit from Sue's perspective. So, look at where this Sue's positioned. She's over there with you, but she sees things are getting a little bit too aggressive. She's been slept, Namor's ulting. So what does she do? She goes invisible, and she starts pulling backwards to where she knows teammates aren't. The enemy teammates aren't. Yes, she's not really healing anybody, she's not doing anything great, but she's in a stronger position to heal somebody, as she's not in the face of the enemy team. She uses her Invis, and she just gets out of there. She's a little bit lost, not knowing the map, but she's straight over to some teammates. She can see where people might need some help. Again, she knows that this isn't a fight. She's trying to run. But we'll get back to you, as we're not here analysing Sue. Again, let's get some heals on our Iron Fist. Yep, we got one as he just ran off. We used to sleep a little bit early. The Captain America's expecting it, so he reflects it onto you. But fortunately, you've got your Sue protecting you, healers looking after healers, which is good to see. And the Captain America just has to leave without anything. But again, we're so focused on shooting a Captain America there that we're missing the opportunity to drop some heals onto our Mr. Fantastic, who's keeping the rest of their team busy. So what we could do is we could just look over, we could give him some heals, and then we can go back to shooting Mr. Fantastic. Healing is your priority, not damage. Unless you're in front of another healer who's half health, maybe one shot away, we shouldn't be trying to fight a 75% Captain America. We should be pumping into this Mr. Fantastic over here, pumping heals into him to keep him alive. The Cap's just going to keep walking towards us as we've got our Wolverine helping us out now, which is great. But we're not popping our F, we're not giving ourselves the damage boost. Actually, I think that's a bit of a lie, as we've got all the blue things on the screen, so I apologise. Yeah, so we are popping the F, which is good to see. Mantis is one of the supports I don't play that often, as I don't like her style of healing, and that it's on a kind of resource. Same for Adam Warlock. I like to be able to have my heals ready when I need them. Really, really good heals and a really good ultimate to just put some pressure. Again, we need to be careful of where we're stood. Yes, we want to keep the team alive. Nice kill. Really nice, dropping out those inspires. Stay forward with the Iron Fist there. Don't be scared. Your team have an advantage. Put in that aggression. Now, Jeff's just ulted. We should be running. Audio cues are really, really important. You want yourself a nice, good pair of headphones to be able to hear that Jeff ulti. As what happens is you don't respond, and because you're all grouped together, it's a lovely little munch for Jeff, and he gets the 2 healers. Nice and easy for him. He's happy with that. He doesn't seem to know where the ledge is, so he messes up his spit a little bit. Pointless trying to hit that Jeff on the floor while he's in his little Finn mode. Nice. So back up a little bit here, back up a little bit. Give yourself some positioning, some room between the enemy and you. And the Star-Lord just rolls us down with his ultimate. Again, could we have saved ourselves by being in a better position? We would have had a room to run into. You know, we don't need to stand on top of the payload.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Feel better, fight better.
There's a lot of bronze gameplay going on from the rest of your teammates, the lack of your tank. But there's a lot you could do to stay alive. Again here. Why are we at the front? Why are we as Mantis at the front, at this door here? Let's just look at it from the enemy's perspective. Let's have a look at it from Namor. So Namor's looking around. First person he sees is you. So he just attacks you. You're an easy target. Yes, the payload's coming in, but we could be stood behind this wall where he can't see us, and then at the last moment run out, if none of our team are going for it, to try and stop that payload. Iron Fist is now scared to go in because he's lost his Mantis. Wolverine manages to make it in time, so he could be there to stop the payload. And we've just walked out and died. We're not able to heal him. We're not able to give him any sort of damage boost. Sue's in a bad spot because she's got no one to help her out. She's trying to stop the payload. Imagine if there was a Mantis here helping her, keeping her alive. Look how long she delayed for. Your Punisher. Your Punisher was doing typical bronze situations. He's just on his turret. He's firing in. You know, he should be in there helping out with his shotgun, supporting the team. But again, he's in a bad position here as the DPS. He's one of the furthest back. He's not a sniper. Yes, he's doing some work with his turret, but he's not supporting his team. Okay, so the point's been lost, and we're still walking forward. We're not gaining anything by being here. And we're probably going to end up in a situation where we die because we're 1v5ing. And then we're just going to trickle a bit more. Yeah, so we're dead. And again, our team is now down another healer. So, what are we going to do in this situation? The rest of your team is likely to just die. And then we're going to end up in another 1v5. Bit of healing going in on the Wolverine. So again, we're still trying to do damage. And look where we are. The rest of our team has run away. They're backing up because there's a Cloak and Dagger ulti on the floor here. But we as a Mantis are playing like a tank. We're up in the front. So we're very lucky not to die there, in my opinion. Going for a little bit of a sneak on the Star-Lords. So this is great. This is where we could have used our shift. Nice, he managed to kill him without it. You drop your ult. Which I guess it's because we're low. I just want to rewind that and see. So really good hits there. If you think about it, we could hit, hit, hit. As soon as he turns, we shift to stop him flying away, and we get a nice, easy headshot, and we stay at 250 health. Instead, we go to 240, and I guess we panic that there's a Captain America in front of us. We've got no idea what the health is of the rest of our team. In fact, everybody is full health. The enemy have used the Jeff ulti, which doesn't do any damage. And we don't really gain anything from popping the ulti here. We're not defending against anything. We're putting in a bit of pressure. Our Wolverine was low health. He pops his ulti, and because he disappears off your screen, you just turn around and give up on him. So you could have dropped a heal or two, and then ran away. But we turn our back to the whole enemy team. We're a little bit lost. Nice, some good heals into the Iron Fist there, keeping him up. A nice Inspire on the Punisher. Look how long he was low for there before we healed him. Low, 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 heal. We could also put another heal out there. So now we're out of resources. We're just standing out in the open. And Star-Lord has popped into our left. In fact, I think he's come behind us and he just takes us out. Because again, we as the healer are just in a bad spot. Can't see what's going on around the rest of the map. And the Star-Lord just sneaks in and kills us off. In fact, I think the Star-Lord's going to take out most of your team here. Yep. So, they're in overtime. The most important thing here is to go in as a team. To try and group up. This Penny needs to back up, which is what she's doing. She knows she needs to get back. She doesn't have healers. Her 2 healers have arrived. And where are we going to go? We run forward to take a lot of damage, and we just... What can we see? We're flanking. So there's a Mantis. Here we are. Who are we healing? Who are we helping? Let's have a look. Maybe I could be wrong. No, so we're just caught in a bad spot. We get a kill. We get 2 kills. But this is what DPS should be doing. And now we're dead. You missed the Fantastic needs healing. Your Iron Fist needs healing. Your Sue needed healing. You know, your whole team's fighting against the Star-Lord ulti. And you're on the back line playing a bit of an assassin when we should be healing our teammates. So if we watch this from above, your Iron Fist is going to die. You missed the Fantastic. Just isn't able to get to the point because he's low health. And, you know, we do have to look at the Penny there. Very kind of bronze behaviour, but she's running from the Star-Lord ulti. She goes to get some heals. She doesn't. In case you didn't know, if you walk back into spawn when you're low health, you can heal back up to full. But your Penny should be walking forward here to defend the point. But instead, she's scared. She doesn't have a healer. Her healers are dead. She's got low health. And she just decides not to go in. So I think it's definitely an interesting replay to look at. If we end up with the final stats here, we can see that if we look at the healers on both teams, you've died 17 times. So if we compare that to Jeff at 8 and we compare that to Sue at 9, that just tells us we're in the wrong position. We're too far forward. We're getting picked off when we shouldn't be. And the other healers are staying further back. Yes, we've got 7 final hits, which is great. Mantis really does have the capability to carry a game, to put aggression, but not if she's dying so much. Your 7 kills are not worth your 17 deaths. I would much rather you have less final hits and less deaths by putting yourself in that strong position. You've also managed to come out as the lowest heal in the whole game, because we've not used our ulti when people are low. We've not used our ultimate to try and fight against other enemy ultimates, and we just aren't putting our priority on healing. We're putting our priority on DPS. And again, you can see that across the damage numbers of the rest of the healers. They're all floating around that 6k. Again, yes, Mantis is a bit of a DPS focused healer, but again, it shouldn't come at the cost of our positioning and our heals. Definitely a lot of stuff that you can do to improve, but not someone who should be hard stuck in Bronze 3 after 48 games. You just have to think about what you're doing, where you are, and what your focus is on. So fingers crossed, Skazoo Muncher. You've learnt some things from this replay review. You can take it into your next game and get climbing up those ranks. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day and take care.